Have you ever decided you wanted a pet but didn't want to invest too much time and money? Have no fear, the goldfish bowl is here. That's what a lot of media and many exhausted parents seem to think. However, for those of you who've kept one of these, or even one of these, you'll likely remember that the fish didn't do so hot, likely dying or acting lethargic with dull colors. There are many reasons for this, like heat and space, but one of the most commonly overlooked factors in getting a new pet fish is the nitrogen cycle. You've probably heard of the carbon cycle, and you've definitely heard of the water cycle, but what's the nitrogen cycle? I'm glad you asked. Nitrogen is a vital part of all living things because it's one of the main building blocks of amino acids and, by extension, DNA, the instruction manual for life. The nitrogen cycle is how nitrogen atoms go from atmospheric nitrogen, which is abundant but unusable for most life, to nitrogen molecules that can be taken up by plants, then animals, and eventually return to the atmosphere. Why should I care, you might ask? What does any of this have to do with why Goldie didn't make it? Well, the nitrogen cycle is a little bit different in the aquarium, since an aquarium isn't an entire biosphere. We skip fixation because you add usable nitrogen to the system through food. As your fish lives, he'll be contributing to ammonification. He uses the nitrogen he needs, then expels the rest as ammonia, a toxic nitrogenous substance. In a bowl, this ammonia has nowhere to go and just sits there, slowly damaging Goldie's internal organs and gills. So, how do we get rid of the ammonia and save him? For that, we need nitrification. Nitrification is when toxic ammonia is converted to non-toxic nitrates, with the help of some little bacteria. The issue with a bowl is that there's not very much surface area for these bacteria to live, and there's no flow, so they can't get to all of the water to process all of the ammonia. That's why you need a filter. A filter has media that gives the bacteria plenty of surface area to grab onto, and pushes all of the water in the tank through that media several times an hour. Okay, so you've got a bigger tank to give your new friend plenty of space, and you've got a filter hooked up. What next? Well, the bacteria don't automatically appear as soon as you set up your tank. You have to attract them and let them grow a little, so you can be sure they'll be able to handle your fish's bioload. That's the amount of ammonia he'll be producing. To attract them, you have to give them a source of ammonia to feed on, and give them some time to accumulate. After the ammonia levels approach zero and nitrates are detected, you can put your fish of choice into his new home. As you keep your fish, remember to keep the last two steps of the nitrogen cycle in mind: assimilation and denitrification. You've got all of these nitrates floating around, and something's going to use them. It's a good idea to add some plants to your aquarium to take up or assimilate the nitrates. Plants are also natural detoxifiers, taking up heavy metals and minerals and prevent the formation of algae. If you don't add plants, the bacteria in the tank will convert the nitrates to atmospheric nitrogen, finishing the cycle through denitrification. Congratulations! You've successfully established a functional nitrogen cycle in your own aquarium, giving your fish a much more suitable habitat.